Okay. Now
Welcome
we're
to the Ecumenical Mush.
Oh yeah.
Are you doing that?
I don't know if I can. I was kind of interested in it, but I came with the other ones, a little bit more highfalutin ones of like the border or the threshold, something like that. Liminal state.
Liminal state, I like.
Oh.
I mean, to be honest, I think all of zero people would find the Ecumenical Mush appealing, besides us two.
There's two. There's maybe more, but percentage-wise, out of the population, let's not gamble too much.
For the purposes of this test, we are the threshold, the liminal threshold.
Liminal state.
Liminal state. It sounds almost like like one of those futuristic dystopian movies.
Well, I think so. I think actually, I like it even more than where I said, because that is where we are. That is why we're having this conversation, because our country, in the long term of history, we are through that, looking as in the '60s and maybe major changes, so many changes that happen all in 1 week, which by themselves would have dominated months worth of news cycle.
Yeah.
A while, like the name change for Redskins. And
that's crazy to think that was what 7-10 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trump's appeal to suburban voters was 2 days ago. His student visa rule was probably 2.5 weeks ago. This is a lot of news in a tiny time period.
Well, everyone wants to get their stuff in. I think maybe because nobody knows what November's gonna do. Right? Like nobody really knows.
Well, it's funny because when I think liminal, I mean, there's a dystopian connotation in the word, but there's also a Christopher Hitchens out there, this sort of ethereal beauty to life connotation I have too.
A little wabi-sabi.
Yeah, a little wabi-sabi. The two kind of sometimes go together. Sometimes they don't. But I like liminal. That's all I want to say. I like liminal.
Right, yeah, I think partly I like it because there's a shirt somewhere out there, some of the print, where it's liminal state, but as if it was the university. So it's just a cat.
Liminal state.
Yeah, it's a Schrodinger's cat. So it's like,
go liminal.
Exactly. What does that mean?
Beat atheist you. Yeah.
Pretty funny.
So Trump emails, and this is not really necessarily just a Trump email topic. This is a political email topic, but the way Trump framed that email you were just talking about, Enrique, or the way...
let me go over a little bit of what the email was.
Yeah.
So somehow I got into a email list. Not somehow. I probably signed up at some point for Trump, and I have been getting regular and pretty much constant emails soliciting donations. This is obviously meant for Trump supporter and has all the language that he uses and they use. So I just showed that to Kevin and to see about the language.
And the language was, so if you get a lot of these things, I know some of us, whether you're on the left or right, or you just sign some petitions now and then and you're bombarded with emails, you've seen these emails. They're these appeal emails. They kind of make you scared. They appeal to your fear to get political donations. And in this case, it was interesting because it not only appealed to your fear, but it also appealed to this sense of everyone's watching you and you haven't done what we wanted you to do.
Yeah, I was interested about the authoritarian feel, especially because there's a list. Like, think about the context a little bit in that these are people specifically that like are seeing masks lead to chipping, lead to one world order, right? And then, however, literally on the other side of that coin, of that mind, is a feeling of authority. Like someone literally, like if someone tells me they're checking my name in a list, alarms go off. I'm not cool with that. Obviously, these people are responding to that. Like, that's not only cool, it's coveted almost.
It's almost as if there is a sort of cognitive dissonance where being on the list typically means big government, it means overreach, it's something to be wary of, something to fight back against. But when it's Trump and Pence and Trump's campaign manager that are compiling this list, it's almost as if the meaning of that term shifts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the warning bells might go. Well, do the warning bells even go off?
There is an argument to be made that based on how the language is couched, our minds already kind of guess as to what the connotation of the language will be. So if you open up Fox News and they talk about a list, chances are it's going to be a really bad progressive liberal list that denotes big government. If you open up a Trump email, maybe you're already you're already spruced, you're already pushed towards thinking whatever you're opening up.
He's personally reading this list.
Yeah.
It's him.
Yeah.
It's not a big organization. It's him,
Yeah,
one person.
it's your friend, exactly. It's almost like a protective list. Like you're it's a list that's there for your benefits, which is ironic because that's exactly what lots of liberals argue. Like sometimes we need government tracking for certain things, or we need a list of companies that aren't abiding by this regulation. It's for the greater good. In this case, it's a similar argument, but you don't take it the same way as a viewer if you are of that political bent.
So is that a good thing, a bad thing? Is that even something? Well, where is the flipping that, and are they being hurt by that? By like my personal thing here is why are they not recognizing this as a form of control, which they say that they're against? And maybe even if we take even a further step into insanity, what are the things that I'm not seeing, that I'm getting, that are a form of control, that I'm like, is the same thing happening to them? Or am I seeing something being like, yeah, I'm all for that.
Right.
But if I put it in black and white and some other speaker was saying that, am I being like, whoa, no, that's fucking crazy.
Is the image entirely different if you're a Trump supporter and you open that email and you don't even think about the big government list? You think about, oh, it's a simple, it's a totally normal list of people who donate to the campaign. I want to be on that list. Like the two are completely worlds apart.
Or I want Trump to know that I support him.
Yeah.
Because I think ultimately we have sometimes an argument of the quid pro quo is like bad.
Right.
But what if you don't think quid pro? Like that's the way your mind operates. They see my name, he will look out for me because he's seen my name and I'm a supporter, so I'm going to get something out of it too.
So there's a bit of ego there. Either it's ego or it's a sense of being protected almost. You want to be protected by those on your sides. I buy the ego argument more. I think humans in general, we're egotistic creatures. And so if there is a way that you can do a good deed in your book, and a good deed would be donating money to a campaign you support, but you also get seen by doing that deed, whether you're posting about it on Facebook or you're being seen by the politician after an online donation, like that feeds our ego.
Exactly. Being recognized. All right. At 9 minutes.
Should we check?
Let's check.